Hey guys, LED Democide here. Just wanted to give a quick game collection and game rooms tour. Show you guys what I have going on. I only started collecting about 6 months ago at Christmas time. And I think I've gained a significant amount of stuff from my collection. I'll show you guys a bit and see what you think. I have it broken down into 2 rooms. The room that we're in now is for current gaming. I have my Xbox One and my Xbox 360 right there. As you can see down there, the One and the 360. Sit in my big comfy chair. My keyboards and all that, headsets, all that kind of good stuff, my controllers. I live in New York City. And as you know, as many of you would know about New York City, it's very expensive and the apartments are pretty small. So for these 2 rooms, I actually have a lot crammed in here. And here's an idea of what I have. These shelves are behind my gaming chair. And I consider this the collection fillers of my 360 games, because I'm looking to complete the Xbox 360 library. So, of course, you're going to have a bunch of fillers. And this is where they are. They all go behind me where I don't have to look at them. All fillers and easy 1000s. I'm also an achievement whore, so I collect all that Disney, all that stuff, whatever I can get my hands on. In front of me here, the connects, would be where I keep the better games. Games that I'm more likely to play also, I haven't played them yet. This is one shelf right here. My small Xbox One collection. It's pathetic, but it'll grow if they actually come out with some games I want to play. Up here, some Tom Clancy games. A lot of this stuff, I don't really pay full price for any of this. A lot of this stuff I find at yard sales, thrift shops, or I take advantage of sales at GameStop and stuff like that. Okay, let's move on. This room was my modern game center, or as I like to call it, my command center. Now we move on to the retro game center. I've been focusing more on collecting my retro games, and I think it really shows. Since Christmas, I've amassed quite a bit of these. You got some Apple II games up there, your Centipede, Dig Dug, other classics. Got a stack of regular Game Boy games there. Not too much to brag about. I got Pokemon Crystal today for $2, so that was great, but a few Game Boy Advance SPs, DS Lites, an old PS2 that's basically just there to hold up my games so they don't fall down. Here we have my Nintendo DS collection, which I really just started collecting maybe a month and a half ago, so it's not too bad. My GameCube collection. Wii. I don't even own a Wii console, but I figured I'll start collecting ahead of time. I usually see this stuff at yard sales, sports games and stuff like that. They're like 50 cents, and I'm not going to pass up on something that's 50 cents if it's a game. I'm buying it, and it's going right in my collection. This is all PS2 right here. So that's that shelf. I got a bunch of stuff here I'm still getting sorted out. Some stuff I got today and some stuff I had laying around I really need to find space for. So that's all here. That's all on the sorting table. Sword, because you got to protect your house somehow, right? Here is my wall of consoles. Got a boxed NES up there. Wii DJ Hero I found cheap at a yard sale. Got your Dreamcasts. Your regular Xbox with the DVD playing kit. U-Draw tablet, one of my GameCubes. Xbox 360 Elite. Now this is interesting. I have a PlayStation 1 here, which you see up here on top. These consoles are not the same. One of them is a PSX, the other one is Japanese. I managed to get that at a thrift shop. The guy didn't realize it was Japanese. And it's pretty cool to have, other than the fact that I have to play it sideways. Bunch of PS1 memory cards, bunch of Game Boy Advance games, which I'm not even going to pull out to really dig into. We got our N64s, 2 of them, our transfer kit, our Rumble pack, oh, our Reagan for President pin, Atari 2600. I'm currently missing the one wire that actually detaches from the console. Sorry for that shaky camera. As well as any controllers. I have a ton of games, no controllers, and no extra wire. Cars handheld game, one of those Tiger Electronic crappy games. Sega Genesis, with the Sega Genesis game Genie. Some old 80s football game that I seen at a yard sale one day for $2 or $3. $3. Let me pick that up. Some NES's, one of my Super Nintendos that's not in the box. I picked up a bunch of these recently at a yard sale. I never really saw them before. I don't know if it's a complete set, but it's Sega games from McDonald's Happy Meal. They're pretty old too. 2004. So they're about 10 years old. They were selling them for 50 cents a piece, but I took them all. Super Nintendo game Genie. Regular Nintendo game Genie. My lonely Sega Saturn that I don't have the wires for, but I do have these cool, well, one of them sealed, these cool third-party controllers that were sold by Blockbuster Video, rest in peace. Got those from a thrift shop. I should really pick up the wires for that and start collecting games for the Saturn as well, but one step at a time. Here we have my Sega Genesis collection and some PC games. 2 sealed copies of Diablo 2. These are my box Genesis games. Here we have the loose Genesis games. My Genesis collection, it isn't the best. It's something I've really, I guess I've kind of been neglecting it. I pass up games when I see them sometimes. I probably shouldn't do that. Atari 2600 and ColecoVision games. I'm expecting more in a package this week. Here's Claire. And, I've spent about 25 more, so I'm going to have to find a new spot for these games. Resident Evil 2 Zombie and Claire. Okay. Strategy guides. Love strategy guides. Don't love paying $20 for them. So I usually I look for when they're priced down or when GameStop is pennying them out. But the ones that I do have are pretty damn good. They're games that strategy guides really come in handy for. RPGs, assorted survival horrors. And yeah, some of them are pretty old too. PS1. Collection's not so big for PS1 either. But got some good stuff here. Your Final Fantasy VIII, Resident Evil 2. This is stuff I got today. Metal Gear Solid. Your Tomb Raiders. Tekken, Spyro, Dino Crisis 1 and 2. Fear Effect, Resident Evil Director's Cut, which is in horrible shape. But it was a donation from my friend Josh. That was really cool. Alone in the Dark. Here's the Japanese games that came with that Japanese PlayStation. We got Intelligent Cube and Final Fantasy VII Japanese. Unfortunately, it's missing disc 2. So if anybody has that, I'd be willing to trade for it or buy it. Some other stuff here. My very small PSP collection and my pathetic PS3 collection, because I still don't own one of those. Regular Xbox. It's a pretty small collection, but it's got quality in it. We got our Halo 1 and 2, our Metal Gear Solid, Deus Ex, or Deus Ex. In my opinion, the best game to play on the Xbox, which was Morrowind right there, the Game of the Year edition. Your Shenmue 2. Not so bad. Nintendo 64, there really isn't much here worth showing. I got GoldenEye and Banjo-Kazooie and, I don't know, Zelda Majora's Mask, but a lot of it is just filler. Not really worth even going into. My NES collection, which really isn't so bad. The RoboCops, Super Mario 3, you know, things that jump out. Maniac Mansion, which I got recently, Zelda, the Contra, Ninja Gaiden, Metal Gear, the original. And back here is mostly filler games that really nobody cares about. Last but not least, our Super Nintendo games. Have some good stuff here. Most of this I got in a bulk lot recently. But, you know, that explains why there's marker on some of them or whatever. But, I got a really good price on them. And I basically went from having 3 Super Nintendo games to having over 50. So, thank you once again to the lady who sold me all that. You are awesome. My teal Nintendo 64 with matching controller. Guitar Hero 2 and the Tony Hawk board. And this is where all of the retro gaming goodness happens. I currently have a GameCube, Sega Genesis, Slim PS2, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, and NES hooked up. Wire's a bit of a mess. I usually only have one, you know, the controllers for one system out at a time. But I was just kind of in a rush to straighten up quick, and I was testing games on them, so yeah. Here we have our controller, our drawer that's absolutely stacked to the top, full of controllers from all different systems, bunch of GameCube controllers, bunch of 64 controllers. Got an NES Max here, good stuff. Another drawer, absolutely full of controllers. A few third-party controllers, which I don't really like, but you know, they come in bulk lots. Let's close that up. And then we go in here and, surprise, surprise, more controllers. Bunch of DualShock ones, extra wires. Nothing really of interest in there. So, thanks for hanging in, guys. Checking out my, not quite extensive yet, but getting there, game collection. It grows every day, mostly on the weekends. And hopefully within the next 6 months or so, I'll be able to film another video, and maybe it'll be double the size. Alright, like, subscribe. Thanks for hanging in there. Take care, guys.